This is episode 57, and today we're going to talk about something you probably have been wanting to know forever. The secret of transitions and how to master them. Let's go. Welcome to Freya Singing Tips, the podcast. My name is Freya Casey, professional singer and vocal coach. I have been on stage my whole life, and I'm passionate about helping you discover the awesomeness in your own voice. Opera, musical theater, jazz, pop, folk, rock, I have done it all. And I want to give you golden nuggets of advice on how to be the master of your voice. I recently did a live stream in my Master Your Voice weekly show that I did, and I was talking about the secret of transitions. I know everybody has been struggling with it, so without further ado, let's get into the meat of things. Everybody has been asking me about it, and here are some of my answers or my 5 cents to put into this subject of how do you deal with transitions. Now, first of all, I want to establish a few things here. I have been asked by people about what is that with the registers? I've heard there's a middle voice. How do I sing in my middle voice? And what is mixed register? And I have talked about mixed register. What is it with the registers? So let's establish the way I define it, because the way you establish the registers is really important to how you're going to transition and how you understand that whole issue and the anatomy of it. So I believe there are 2 basic mechanisms that the human voice has. So first of all, there's the heavy mechanism, which would be chest voice. In the heavy mechanism, what happens is pretty much the whole mass, the whole vocal cord vibrates. That it consists of a muscle and membranes. And when you speak or sing in chest voice, pretty much all of that mechanism is used. When you sing in head voice, you only use the membranes. There's a smaller area, not the big, massive part of the vocal cord moves anymore. It gets stretched more, and only the kind of like the edges move. That is really important to know. Also, another thing that happens is when you get into head voice, your larynx has this tilting mechanism. It tilts when you go into head voice. You also can feel that when you sing any given note that you could sing, that's in your passaggio, that you could sing either in chest voice or in head voice. You can go, this I'm singing in chest voice. I can definitely feel there's really nothing tilted there. When I'm singing this in head voice, there's this tilting that you feel. It goes down. Now, the degree to how far you go, either direction, in the chest voice or in the head voice, can vary. You can either be on that end of the chest voice that you have this position really, really kind of pulling it in, like I'm singing in chest voice and I'm singing very strong chest voice. So those muscles that help you stay in chest voice, that help the vibration and the position overall, they are really working there. Now you can let them go a little bit and relax them just a little bit more to where you are still in chest voice, but you're not in such a heavy mechanism chest voice. You're still in the quote unquote heavy mechanism, which is chest voice, but you're not as heavy. So I'm still can sing this note right here. I'm still in chest voice, but I'm not in heavy as here. See what I mean? I can stay just a little bit lighter, which doesn't mean I have to be softer. It's just a little lighter mechanism and it's not as heavy. See how I can change the colors just a little bit. Vice versa, when you are in head voice, let's take that same pitch. I am in head voice now. Now I'm tilting a lot. I'm really pushing it down. I'm opening up a lot of space. But I can also neutralize it just a little bit. I'm still in head voice, but I'm not tilting it as much. So from there, I can go into chest voice. See, now let's try this. I will take that pitch again, and I will start in head voice, in heavy head voice with that tilting mechanism, really with that larynx tilted. And then I will go into this heavy chest voice mechanism. Also remember the vocal cords, they have to kind of really suddenly switch. I'm going to have a sudden switch. I'm going to do it on purpose to where you hear that sudden switch to where I don't ease into it, but I'm just suddenly letting it go into that heavy register of chest voice from the head voice. So here I go. See how that just flipped? And that happens when you are in, especially when you go from head to chest. Usually it is a little harder to avoid that flip and that sudden cracking there. The cracking is nothing else, but it's nothing but that flip happening uncontrolled, and you have this crack going on. See how it jumps back and forth? It just kind of jumps back and forth because I'm not controlling it. I'm just letting it do whatever. Now, where you can smooth out the transition is the way you go from the one to the other. You can make it a little bit more flowing, in a flowing motion. It's like anything in your body. You can either have a very abrupt motion or you can have a very flowing ease motion, like easy motion. Ease into it. So the same happens from head to chest voice. Let's go from the top to bottom first of all, and then we'll try it from the bottom to top. So try to start in head voice and then slide down. Let's do it one time, very heavy. Start in that very tilted position, head voice, which means very operatic. Think very operatic. So, and then slide down and get into chest voice that's really heavy. So, oh, see how that it just wants to jump, and I can't even control where the pitch lands. That's what you do not want to happen unless you try yodeling. And in yodeling, that's what people actually use to make that effect. It's that very harsh flip from head to chest voice that, see, that's kind of, there's a ha-la-da-hee, 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 ha-la-dee, ha-la-dee, ha-la-dee. That's what yodelers do. I don't really know how to yodel, but I know how that mechanism works. But now let's try to do that same thing, sliding from the top to the bottom, but not having that very heavy tilting mechanism going on when you are in head voice. So instead of going, oh, see our middle voice, and now I'm stuck in this very, oh, now I have to tilt over into a chest voice. Stay a little lighter. Relax. Relax that muscle back there. Very slowly slide. You can feel it better. Oh, stay a little bit more neutral. See how I just eased into chest voice? You didn't hear any break, and no break happened because I kind of held on to that position and slowly let it go into that other position. That is all a matter of training now, but you can use that exercise to train to make it a little bit smoother. Now, let's make it a little harder. Stay on that one pitch. That one pitch that is not too high of a chest voice, but not too low of a head voice pitch. Try to ease from head voice into chest voice. Stay on one pitch without having that flip happening. So, here I am in head voice. See if I make it very heavy. But I'm not making it heavy. I'm staying a little bit more neutral. Yeah. Now I'm in chest voice and I could go even heavier and lighter. See how I can ease into that? And there was not a harsh flip happening. Even for me, that's something that I really have to concentrate on. It is still hard. It always will stay hard. It's still hard for me, even though I've trained it so much and I've done it a lot with my students. It is still very hard. And I've been training voice all my life. So it tells you that it does need a lot of training and a lot of fine tuning. Let's try it from the bottom up now and try to not get into, don't pull the chest voice up to where it gets very heavy mechanismed. Is that a word? Mechanismed? You know what I mean? So start here and then go up. I landed in head voice somewhere, but you couldn't really know where because I used that easing into that. And that's what I describe as mixed register, is that area of your voice where you ease into that other register, and it's this area in between. See, on your body, it's not, usually your body, it's not like a binary thing. It's not open or close. There's always something between open and close anything, right? So even your eyelids, they're not either open or closed. Sometimes it's a little bit open. So the movement from open to closed, there's a lot of space in between that. There's a motion. So, and the smoother you can make that motion from open to closed, and it's kind of similar to the registers too. It's not really open or closed, but it's one position to the other position. Anything in your body works that way. It's not, there's a movement that goes there. It's a flowing movement. And the smoother you can make it, the smoother your transition will be. That takes a lot of training, a lot of control, and a lot of awareness how light and heavy you are and exactly what register you are in, when you have actually arrived in the other register, and when it's safe to get heavier to where there's not a flip happening. So there's a lot of components involved to where you have the feeling you have full control over it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and that you will take these things to heart, because I know that is something that even as a professional singer, that's something that is still hard, transitioning very smoothly. That's something we always need to work on. So thank you so much for listening today. Don't forget to join my Facebook group if you have not already. It's called Master Your Voice. We have awesome discussions going on there. Also, if you have not done, subscribe to the podcast. That way you make sure you always get the newest episode, which comes out every Wednesday. Thanks everybody for listening, and I hope to welcome you back next week. Always keep a song in your heart and always keep on singing. Bye.